More crappy driver than your pancreas can contain. It's Hotwheels beat that, part 10. This time another tournament is in place, and it's the golf course. So, let's do this. We'll be doing it with not the bully goats, but with our Drift King. Okay, 25,000 points and 15 direct hits on any opponent with any weapons. Commence the carnage. Alright, so this time we are not looking to attack people with one weapon, we are now going to attack them 15 times with any kind of weapon. And of course, I get a shitload of points throughout these 4 rounds that you will never be able to know how many points you currently have. You're supposed to fucking guess.
1, go!
But hey, things are going pretty well so far, I mean, look at this. We already have some good progress. That's pretty good. Grabs are really useful. Just become more useful. That's later on. But yeah, things are going pretty good. I mean, made a lot of progress. Blowing motherfuckers up with rockets. Comes the airstrike, which luckily did not try to shoot me. Thankfully. What I found is that airstrikes are pretty much of an instant, like, revenge streak thing. Like, when you get hit with it, whoever's hitting you, just once, in fact, even with a shield on, they become on the rampage mobile, where they'll turn red and if you hit them, 300 points are yours. Sadly, 300 points is pretty much useless for when we have to deal with 25,000. We're better off just trying to get, oh no, fucking 5,000 points every race. That only gives us 20,000, so we're going to need to... Fuck, how many do I need to get 25? We're gonna need a shitload of points. And if I was to go for, say, 7,500 for 3 races and then 250 for the last, that would actually be enough. Because 7,500, that would be 3 times about, I don't know, fucking 22500. If I were to add 2,500 on the last round, that would be 25,000. But again, you cannot tell how many fucking points you currently have because the game developers decided not to show you that at all. There's no indication how many points you actually have in the race or throughout all the tournaments. There we go. That's 15 hits, and that's usually been mostly helpful through the fact of rockets and mines. Guess we didn't have to use a fucking mortar. That one sucked, man. But hey, we're nearly done with this race. I mean, just one more lap and then that's it. We're done. Then we can move on to the second round. And we can move on to being halfway complete with this fucking tournament. Which is pretty much boring once you have already done it 3 times. And I'm being serious, this shit gets really fucking boring to look at when you've already done this track 3 times already. First time being a normal race, you know, 3 laps like this tournament, so it's basically like doing a normal race, except you now have to be first to get 12 points. So you can get to 48 points by the end of it, so you can look like a goddamn king. The other one being Eliminator, in which it's just 30 seconds each time. You just have to not be last and you'll win. And the final one being a rampage was just to shoot down these slow, pretty much on a set path cars. Shoot down a number of them and you win. You have to go through the same exact track 3 times. Just so you can get to a tournament, so you can go from a 4th time, but all in one go. It's really not as entertaining as you think. And it's also really not as challenging as you think, because honestly, this is the easiest piece of shit in the world, and it saddens me.
Victory!
But hey, we're done.
Round 1 complete.
You might be thinking, well, at least you get to see what your next car is going to be, because you do get, you know, a new car racing you in the tournaments. But I'm pretty sure that new car races you in every other mode outside of tournaments, so it doesn't really matter. Now, I went through the comments of my old channel, The Stick Kid, and found some interesting things, like in my old times when doing Hydro Thunder, that apparently people could not hear me during the game, that I was too quiet. Well, that certainly has changed now, because you can definitely hear me like
3,
over this game.
2, 1.
Go. This song is just repetitive. I still don't like that instrument that's being used. It's a really shit instrument. That shit's just annoying. But when I did it was annoying, right there. I'm sorry if you are hating me right now for making that stupid sound. But how would you feel if you had to hear that sound a lot throughout this game? And it mainly plays about 3 times throughout this song. Yeah, it gets grating and it gets annoying. For most people, they find the song pretty decent. By the way, that just happened. What just happened? Either my car just glitched through the floor and teleported up to the ground, right there, or the camera just glitched the fuck out, teleported to the under the floor, and then went straight back to my car. The car's not the only things that glitch in this game. Pretty much everything does. I guess there's one thing I like about this game, it's the damage indicator. You see, your car cannot explode, your car does not, you know, get destroyed unless you're doing Rampage or Eliminator and you were too far behind, you didn't destroy them in time. But there is a damage indicator in this game, in which it's indicated by your car. This is the only thing I like about this game, the fact that as you gradually get attacked or land around, your car does indeed take damage. Glass breaks, your damage starts to get disfigured, things get bent, and the best part about it is that it's taking damage like a toy car. As you can tell immediately from the glass. As you can see, the glass has little pecks on it, and you can only get that sort of damage if it was a car that was a toy. If it was a real car, that would look different. But because it's a toy car, it looks like this. And honestly, I like that. I like that kind of detail in this game. What I don't like is that you can take damage like that from your glass and everything just by simply doing jumps. This means that there is no way to actually complete any race without taking some damage. And you don't get more damage than this. You can take at least 10 rockets, and what you're seeing right now is pretty much the maximum damage. You don't lose parts, your glass does not break thoroughly all the way through. Nothing really happens outside of what you're seeing right now. A few little, like, smacks of the glass and some disfiguration, but outside of that, that's it. Anyway, here's an airstrike I like to shoot out. You can get this from a blue, or if you want to get really rare, I have indeed gotten this from normal thing. And yes, I did just shoot that airstrike as soon as I got EMP'd. Timing, ladies and gentlemen. Oh great, I gotta get it even now? I don't have to. But I do need the points. Just sucks I have no idea who the fuck my rampage buddy is because I can't see his red mark. It will either be obscured by the white dots or by my own P1 or dots. It's really annoying. What's more annoying is that this fucking HUD, this map is absolutely useless on knowing where your opponents are. You see, where I am, it's perfect. But when you look at what the CPU is, you can't even fucking tell outside of maybe their movements. As you can see, it looks like my cars, my opponents are going all over the fucking place. Anyway, that was weird, huh? I already completed the goal though, didn't I? I mean, from the first race it said goal 1 complete. That means I did all the hits. And usually that means it's done. I don't have to do it again. We already tested this out with the Tesla attack, with the fact that I couldn't get the goal done again. Well, for some reason, it locked up again. I have no idea how, but I somehow succeeded again in beating the goal, and I have no idea how that happens. Again, this game makes no fucking sense and just glitches out for no reason in weird ways, and they're weird glitches too.
Round 2 complete.
Anyway, round 2 is now completed, and let's have a look at where my opponents are. Okay, 12. Okay, yeah, that's a pretty interesting to know that all 3 of my opponents literally have the same points. That being 12. They can't catch up to me in this race because even if they got second place, I mean, if I got second place and they got first, I would get 34, they would get 24. It would not matter in the slightest. But it doesn't really matter because it all comes down to the final race. Yeah, like I said, when you keep hearing this music over and over again and it keeps looping and such, it becomes repetitive and you start to hate it. Like, there are games that have different variations of the music, like some skateboarding, or play completely different music every time to make it different a bit. Like Hot on the Hurricane. And there are also games that music is actually decent memorable, like RC Revenge. This game is repetitive, and its music is really not going to be that memorable to me. In fact, it is kind of bland at times for some of its music. Now then, this place is very glitchy because when I had to go for this again, because I'm pretty sure I said this before, my memory card, the one I bought not too long ago, completely fucked up and died. What happened is, and this is not about joke, when I went for that little boost there, when I got bumped on the bridge, it actually went onto its face. And for some reason, not only did it make me go faster, but I was stuck on the face until I knocked into a wall or into an object. This game has no logic behind anything it fucking does. Like that! How the fuck did I hit my own mine? Apparently I got too close to my own mine. Which, by the way, why is it that I just got hit by my own fucking mine? Like, I don't have friendly fire on, and I certainly thought there would be some kind of delay before, you know, I would be eligible to be hit. But why is it that the radius is big enough to actually hit you in a loop? That's pretty bad. Sure, it gives you an advantage when, you know, you're aiming for the enemy and they always hit the fucking mines. I have not ever seen a moment where I haven't had a CPU hit all my mines. But it's just that when it comes to you not having the advantage, it usually happens when you're on the loop-de-loops. You place a mine during the loop-de-loop, and you place it pretty much at the start so you can fuck up your opponent when they try to go up there and make them fall down and cause a pretty decent blockage. The problem with this is the radius, because you can get hit by your own mine when you get to the end of the loop-de-loop, because it's in the radius. It makes it really difficult not to get hit by the mine, and it makes it really annoying to actually get these fuckers trapped. And again, I have no idea what the fuck is going on with the map and the CPU, because I can't tell anything. They're all going off the map, and the way they are placed on the map is awkward. Well, with you, it's like pretty much dead center with the line. They are all over the place, this fucking CPU on the map. They could program the line for you, but they couldn't program it for the fucking CPU? Really? Then again, they're the same people who thought putting the goals when you start the fucking race was a good idea, and not showing you how many points you have gone throughout the race, and making sure to have the goals have some pretty big fucking points. Be a really, really smart idea. So damn dumb. Because you're just supposed to guess if you're getting close to 25,000 or not. They don't tell you. They'll tell you how many points you got from your winnings of a tournament. You know, you won 12 points, so here's your tally on how many points you currently have. They do not give you how many points you have gotten from doing your drafting, your drifting, your Avengers, your jumps. They don't tell you shit. You're supposed to guess. And that is annoying. You know, as I listen to the music more and more, I started to notice that the instruments sound pretty much the same, and that the guy doing all the woes and shit pretty much starts to sound a lot like the other singers in this fucking music. They have the same kind of voice and have the same kind of vocal talk. Like the oh yeah guy. That pretty much sounds exactly like this guy. So I'm starting to think this whole entire soundtrack is by the same people. And if that's true, then these guys are really not original. Because their music definitely loops a lot. And not just from the game looping it. You're literally hearing the same song over and over again, at least 3 times before it actually loops. And this one is definitely doing that. This is literally the same like 20-30 second song looped 3 times in one sound file, in my opinion, before it starts looping. Sure, you might hear some differences, but it's literally the same fucking song. And this song just becomes even more goddamn repetitive because of it. And then the loop happens. And you hear the same and that same fucking vocal over and over again. Like it's trying to brainwash you. Listen, I've heard many soundtracks that are not just songs they got the rights to use that were in racing games. And I played a lot of racing games, as you well know from my channels and my Let's Plays. And here's the thing. The music in those games are not as repetitive as this fucking game. Even Hot Wheels Extreme Racing had music that didn't sound so loopish and repetitive. That music I could listen to. This, just from listening to it, doing this post-recording sounds fucking repetitive. And I honestly hate it. Like, I know people are going to defend this song. I know people are going to defend the music in this game, saying that it's not repetitive, that it's decent. Also, yes, that just happened. A combination of Get Your Revenge and Revenge Successful just happened there. But, yeah, this fucking soundtrack. Like, sure, you might enjoy this song, you might enjoy the soundtrack. Like, because it's your childhood or something, maybe. This was my childhood as well. But, honestly, if you can't see that this childhood sucks, then you are really grasping onto your childhood way too hard. Trust me, I was kind of the same. I was defending my childhood as well. But then I looked back at my childhood and saw that it really wasn't as good as I thought it was. It wasn't as good as I remembered. In fact, a lot of what I used to enjoy was kind of crap. And that becomes evident from RC Revenge and Hot Wheels Extreme Racing. And it becomes even more evident from this fucking game when it came to my PS2 childhood. Because this game was fun for me. But then, memories started coming back to me in which I got bored of this game quickly. And I went back to playing other games like Crash Bandicoot and shit.
You took first.
So yeah, this game, even in childhood, sucked. The only reason I'm saying I'm remembering this now is because it was in the back of my memory. It was forgotten. It was something I didn't want to remember. But hey, I beat the tournament, rambling on about this fucking game, my memories of it. Let's see what I won. It's a new fucking event in a new car.
Hey, you got a new car.
Called the Demon. So, now we have the Demon, which is actually better than the Drift King. I guess next time we'll be beginning the next set, which is what I had to start doing recordings of as soon as I got back through all this shit a second time. So, the attic. By the way, we are actually indeed close to the bowling alley, which is our last set. But anyway, next time in the attic, we'll be doing train set twists. We also have 3 other races for some lot ones and the tournaments. But for now, next time, train set twists. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.